Have you ever felt that you're not good enough? That no matter how hard you try, you always seem to fall behind others? The truth is that society loves to put you in a box, telling you what you can and can't be, what's success, what's failure, what's acceptable. But let me tell you something that nobody says. You are not what society says you are. And if you're always comparing yourself, feeling small, thinking you need to fit into some mold, this video was made for you. Today you'll understand why your self-esteem doesn't depend on likes, status, or external validation. You'll discover how to reconnect with who you really are, not what they expect you to be. Stay until the end, because the turning point you need doesn't come from outside. It starts now, right here inside. Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you try, it's never enough? That you always seem to be chasing something that you never achieve? Perhaps it's because, ever since you were a child, you've been taught that your worth depends on what you have, what you look like, what you achieve. Society has created a mold, an invisible standard that tells you how you should look, speak, dress, and act. And then, when you try to follow this pattern and still feel empty, you think the problem is with you. But it's not. The problem is that you're trying to live a life that isn't yours. And that's why I need to remind you, you are not what society says you are. You are much more than the comparisons, more than the labels, more than the judgment. And in this video, you'll discover how to reclaim who you really are and why that changes everything. Look around you. Everything today revolves around performance. Likes, numbers, result. Society wants to convince you that your value lies in your CV, your body, your lifestyle. If you don't fit in, if you don't have that, then you're worth less. And that's where the trap begins. You compare yourself all the time. You think you're behind. You think you're not good enough. And what's worse, you start living trying to prove that you deserve to be here. It wears you down, sucks you dry, makes you forget who you are. What nobody tells you is that this game is designed for you to lose, because it makes you run after something that will never fulfill you. And the more you run, the further you get away from yourself. Society has created a distorted mirror, and you've been looking through it for years. Imagine a young man who dreams of being an artist. Ever since he was little, he's loved drawing, creating, and imagining. But he hears from his parents, there's no money in that. He hears from school, that's not a real profession. He grows up thinking he's wrong for liking what he liked. Then he tries to adapt. He takes a course he doesn't love, tries to fit in, does everything right, but feels a constant weight on his chest. The feeling that he's living someone else's life. This may seem like someone else's story, but maybe it's yours too. Maybe you're carrying dreams that aren't yours, trying to mold yourself to a world that never really recognized you. The good news? You can stop. You can choose to come back to yourself. And that's what we're going to talk about now. Your value is not in what others see. Your value lies in what no one sees, but only you feel. It's in your heart, your courage, your authenticity. You don't need to meet any standards to deserve respect, love, or acceptance. You were born with it. It's just that society has done a good job of convincing you otherwise. And now you're trying to conquer something that's already yours. The diamond is still valuable even if it's covered in dirt. And so are you. Your essence never lost its value. It just got buried under expectations, rules, and pressures. But it's still there. And when you understand that, everything starts to change. Because you stop chasing approval and start walking towards your truth. Now it's time to come back to yourself. And that starts with silence. Silencing the noise outside in order to hear what's inside. Disconnect a little from networks, opinions, and comparisons. Because as long as you're listening to everyone else, you'll continue to ignore the only voice that matters, your own. Then ask yourself, what would I do if no one judged me? Or what would I choose if fear didn't speak up? The answers you're looking for are in those questions. And more than that, Start listing what you like about yourself, not what others think is beautiful, but what makes you feel alive. Your laugh, your creativity, your vision of the world, your sensitivity. That's you. No one can take that away. And when you reconnect with that, you become stronger. Because you start to live from the inside out and not the other way around. Do an exercise now. Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and answer yourself. If I didn't have to prove anything to anyone, who would I be today? Maybe you'd give yourself permission to make more mistakes. Maybe you'd start that project you've been putting off. Maybe you'd change your path, even if it seems crazy to others. The point is, you'll only discover your strength when you stop living in the eyes of others. If you want to take the first step today, start simple. Write down 3 things you like about yourself that don't depend on status, appearance, or success. This exercise is small but powerful, because it breaks the logic of society and starts to build a new reference, your own. You are not what society says you are. You are what you discover when you have the courage to look inside and accept yourself. And yes, it can be scary at first. It may seem lonely. But I assure you, there is no greater freedom than living, being who you are. Not half of yourself trying to please everyone, but whole with everything you are. If this video speaks to you, comment below, I choose my worth. Share it with someone who also needs to remember this. Because the more we free ourselves from labels, the more we inspire others to do the same. Let's build a world together where people are recognized not for what they look like, but for who they really are. And that world starts with you. Now. There is no growth in the comfort zone, and there is no comfort in the growth zone, and the result you need is in the sacrifice you don't make. There is no growth in the comfort zone, and there is no comfort in the growth zone, and the result you need is in the sacrifice you don't make.